What up, everybody, and welcome back to Will Stimmen Sports here on YouTube. And man, oh man, do we have a recruiting episode for you today. Dae'Vonn Hall and Isaiah McMorris, wide receivers out of Bellevue West, Nebraska, commit. And we're going to be breaking that down along with the other commits that Nebraska's been getting recently. We had a big flurry as of the last 2 weeks, and we're going to break down all of those on this video. But let's start off with the two newest commits, Dae'Vonn Hall. Let's start off with Dae'Vonn Hall. So he is ranked as a 4-star from 24/7 Sports Composite. He was the first receiver of the two to really break out. He got this ranking back when he was a sophomore in high school. He was originally in the top 100 actually when they first came out with the 2024 rankings. 6'2", 180. Has offers from Arkansas, Iowa. He was considering Penn State for a while, Tennessee, Texas A&M, Ole Miss. So pretty good offer list. And this one is a little shocking. I mean, to be honest, this is a little shocking. For the longest time, we did not think we were going to get Dae'Vonn Hall. We didn't think, first, we didn't think there was mutual interest, and we knew there wasn't mutual interest on our side. For a while, he wasn't a take. And for whatever reason, I'm still not sure why, but that didn't change until recently when they contacted Dae'Vonn Hall and they said, hey, we want you in this class. And that's apparently what happened, because again, for the longest time, we thought they were mutually split. They weren't going to go in each other's paths, and Dae'Vonn Hall was going to go off, it looked like, to Penn State for a while. Until recently, this week actually, where that switched and he got a crystal ball and he announced that he was going to be committing the same day as his teammate. And everyone on Husker Twitter, everyone was kind of like, what's going on, right? We thought this guy wasn't coming here, and he ends up committing today. So this is a great get. I mean, this guy, let's just talk about what he does well. This guy is the best receiver in the state of Nebraska, and he has been that way the last 2 years. You can say that Isaiah McMorris was a better receiver in the state last year. He did have a better stat line. I mean, obviously there are teammates. The only reason I have to say is that you have to be at the games to really understand Dae'Vonn Hall's impact on the game. And he was the defense's number one priority to stop. I mean, this guy has the best hands in the state. We're talking, I mean, one-handed catches all the time. I mean, it's crazy. Probably the best hands that we've seen from an in-state receiver. I mean, I want to say he has better hands than Xavier Betts coming out of high school. So, I mean, that's how good of a receiver he is, just from a catching perspective. Really good speed. He runs about 4.4. Again, good size, 6'2". You see Matt Rhule going for those taller guys. This was priority number one. The reason why I'd say we weren't going after him for a while was the concerns with his academics. Not great. That was the same reason why Xavier Betts, we struggled with Xavier Betts coming out of high school. And I talked about that before, is that Xavier Betts was not really motivated academically, right? And that's why he didn't have many offers. So Dae'Vonn Hall, I think that's one of the reasons why again, I'm not for sure on why we weren't going after Dae'Vonn Hall. I thought it was really a mystery. A lot of people in Nebraska circles were not happy about it. They wanted Dae'Vonn Hall to come here. And again, that didn't change until very recently, where the staff contacted him and said, hey, are you coming on board? So yeah, just a huge switch of what we normally expected. We thought he was going to go elsewhere until this very week. But huge get. But let's go to his teammate Isaiah McMorris, who we knew we were recruiting. So this is a little bit different. We knew we were going after Isaiah McMorris for a long time. We knew there was mutual interest. He was a lean toward USC for a long time. So he's a 3-star, top 500 player according to 24/7. 6 foot tall, 170. So a little bit shorter than his teammate. But yeah, he was getting offers from Oklahoma, Penn State, Minnesota, Missouri, Texas Tech, Wisconsin, and USC for a long time. He wanted to go there. At the end of the day, I don't think USC was a committable offer, but I think if it was, he probably would have went there. But I think they wanted to play together, man. And I think it was either there or Penn State. And Isaiah McMorris did not have a committable offer to Penn State. He got an offer, but not a committable offer. And I think they wanted to team up. And here we go, right? Once Dae'Vonn Hall, it's no surprise that the second Dae'Vonn Hall found out, hey, you're down to come to Nebraska, that they announced both that they were going to commit today to Nebraska, right? That's not a surprise. They wanted to be together. Dae'Vonn Hall originally recruited Isaiah McMorris to Bellevue West. So Isaiah McMorris started off his career at Miller North, and Dae'Vonn Hall was one of the reasons, along with the coaching staff, who does a great job there at Bellevue West, was one of the reasons why Isaiah McMorris ended up transferring his junior year to Bell West. And they've been the best friends ever since. So, yeah, obviously they wanted to team up at the next level. I think Nebraska was the one place where it was happening, right? I don't think they didn't really hold too many mutual offers from the same teams. So Nebraska was the only place where really could happen. So but let's just talk about Isaiah McMorris. I broke down what I thought Dae'Vonn Hall did. So Isaiah McMorris isn't as fast. He runs about a 4.5, which is, again, that's not bad at all. That's not bad. But we're talking extremely productive player. 1,300 yards last year. You heard me correctly. 1,300 yards for Bellevue West last year. I'm trying to find his touchdown total. 14 touchdowns. Yep, 14. I mean, that's unreal, right? That is unreal. Compare that to his teammate Dae'Vonn Hall. Let me pull it up real quick here. So Dae'Vonn Hall had about 1,000 yards receiving with 11 tutties. So, yeah, I mean, very, very close. But Isaiah McMorris was the top producer. And a lot of that, like I said earlier, was because Dae'Vonn Hall's the defense's number one priority. I know this because I watch a heck of a lot of high school football in the state of Nebraska. The defense, every defense they played, and you saw that when they played Gretna specifically at the start of the year, was stop Dae'Vonn Hall. Stop Dae'Vonn Hall. And Isaiah McMorris, being that wide receiver too, I mean, he got more looks because of that. But that's not to say Isaiah McMorris isn't as good of a receiver. I mean, the stats speak for himself. Really good hands, just like his teammate. Honestly, a better fluid route runner. Really, they're both really good 7v7 players. Dae'Vonn Hall is killing it. He was killing it last offseason in 7v7. And they're doing it again this offseason. They're doing 7v7 this week. But, I mean, both of them, heck of a players, heck of a route runner. Isaiah McMorris, I'd say, is a little bit better of a route runner. A little worse speed, obviously a little worse height. Contested catches, both of them are really good. Both really great after the catch. I mean, these guys are top quality receivers. And dang, Nebraska's happy to have them. And these guys, there was a lot of good receivers in state last year. Malachi Coleman obviously was in state, along with a couple others. But I don't think anybody who follows Nebraska high school football would argue with the fact that both Isaiah McMorris and Dae'Vonn Hall cleared every other player in state at the wide receiver position. They were the best two. They were number one. They were 1A and 1B. The stats speak for themselves. So, I mean, huge additions. And I didn't think I was going to make a video about Dae'Vonn Hall committing. I thought for the longest time Dae'Vonn Hall was out of here. So did everybody else. So did Dae'Vonn Hall. Dae'Vonn Hall didn't think he was coming here a month ago. And he ends up coming. So that's awesome. But let's get to some of the other commits. And then kind of just talk about, I want to have a conversation about the star problem. And I'm just going to be breaking down Matt Rhule's philosophy, what he's looking for in recruits, and how can we assess players even if they don't have high stars. But before we do that, let's get to Mario Buford. This was a huge get, man. This was a huge get. Mario Buford's been number one on my most wanted list ever since we offered him going into his sophomore year of high school. I mean, this dude got an offer after his freshman year. I think we were one of his first offers. Obviously, he is the brother of Marquez Buford, who's on the roster. Out of DeSoto, Texas, he won a state title last year. This dude plays wide receiver at DB, and he's electric. 6 foot tall, 170. If you ever want to watch good high school football, watch DeSoto play, man. They won the state title last year. I tuned into a couple games, but this guy's an athlete. 4.4 40 time, great ball skills. That's why you love Texas high school football, because you're playing against the best. And man, he's a way better. Think about Marquez Buford right now on our team. He might be a starter. I think he will be a starter. Marquez Buford went to prep school at high school, and he's this good. Mario Buford is a 4-star, and imagine what he's going to be, how good he's going to be by the time he's in Marquez Buford, his brother's position. This is a stud. This is a freaking stud. He's a camp stud. He's been tearing it up at rivals camps. I think that's how he originally got his offer. Huge get by Evan Cooper. That was a priority from the last staff. Travis Fisher really wanted him, and Evan Cooper kind of was like, yeah, we need this guy too. I love it. And this wasn't a shock by any means. We knew for a long time he was going to come here. But this was a big get. This is a big get for our secondary, which honestly, it's getting a little old. The secondary has been deep, honestly, the last couple of years. But it's getting a little old. We haven't had that many strong classes in the secondary, so this class is huge. And Mario Buford is the lead guy to turn around, along there with Roger Gradney. Two really good gets there in the secondary. I doubt we take another guy, and we're gonna break down everybody else that we got. We got a couple other guys in the secondary who committed. So yeah, Mario Buford, huge get. I want to pull up his stats real quick here from his senior year. They're on the tip of my tongue. Dude, my max preps is bugging out right now. Yeah, so he had in his entire career 50 tackles, 12 pass defended. I'm trying to find his INT stats. I saw it on Twitter a couple times. 2, yeah. So just solid player. His huddle's great, but heck of an athlete. Runs a 4.4. That's your takeaway. Great ball skills. He's really patient. He doesn't bite at the first thing. He's not an aggressive corner. He's a lockdown corner, and that's what you love to see. He's not. There's two guys who play the cornerback position. You have guys, and I'll use NFL examples. Jalen Ramsey, right? Lockdown corner, and then you guys have Trayvon Diggs, and those are the more aggressive corners who get burned all the time, and are a little more risky, but they're going to get the picks, right? So you like to see guys like Mario Buford who have 0 picks, because you don't want to see anybody throw their way anyways, right? Like if you're a heck of a corner, no one's throwing your way. So yeah, Mario Buford, man, special. He's going to be great. And he will play corner. I know there's some people saying that he might play safety like his brother. No, he's going to play cornerback for us. Okay, so that's Dae'Vonn Hall. That's Isaiah McMorris. That is Mario Buford. But let's get to some of the other commits. So this has really been a talking point. We've got, over the last couple days, 5 commits. And none of them, excluding one who's about the 900th player in the country, but none of the others are inside the top 1,000. Okay. And this really opened up a talking point within the Husker fan base about how we feel about Rhule taking players like this. But let's just run down who we did in fact take. We have Evan Taylor, first off, he's about 900 in the country. He's going to play corner for us, 6'3", 180. He ran about a 4.4 when he's on a camp here. So let me like that. Braylon Prude, 6'4", 190. Also another guy who apparently ran a 4.4 when he came to a camp here. Plays linebacker. He's not ranked inside the top 1,000. And he only has one other offer, and that comes from Eastern Illinois, which is a FCS school. Only one other offer. That's not great. Landon Davidson, O-line commit, 6'4", 300 pounds. Not inside the top 1,000. Got an offer after he came here for a camp. All these guys did. And he does have some Power 5 offers. Iowa State, Colorado, Kansas. Donovan Jones from Omaha North, who I've been watching a little bit as of recently. So I was familiar with his name, 6'2", 190. Also came to a camp recently. And I don't think he has any offers. Let me check. Yeah, so he really doesn't have any offers. One from South Coast State, one from Wyoming, and then one from a random. And the last one, there's 2 others, excuse me. Jake Peters, 6'3", 270. He's an O-line commit. And then the last one, Kyle Lombarda, is a safety commit. And he only has one other offer, and that's from Missouri Southern State. So I want to break down these guys, but I think we need to address the elephant in the room here first. Okay, are these guys great recruits? No. As of right now, they are not. I dove into a lot of them. And I'll use Braylon Prude as an example, right? So when I was trying to prepare for this video, I was trying to prep a little bit. I tried to find this guy's stats, couldn't find really anything. Tried to find this dude's camps, couldn't really find anything. Tried to find this dude's huddle, found it. This guy played JV football last year, so he will play full-time varsity football going into his senior year. There are not very many guys who get their first varsity action going to senior and then go Power 5. Very few do, okay? Donovan Jones, he played his first varsity as a junior, which, I mean, a lot of people do, but he wasn't a starter, really. What's the other one? Calambarda also really didn't play. I mean, he played varsity, but it's just, we have a problem. There is a little bit of a problem here, right? Little experience. They don't start on their own teams. They don't have good offers. A lot of these guys only have one or two other offers, and they're not even from Power 5. They're not even from FBS schools. They're from FCS schools. And in Calambarda and some others example, they don't even have D1 scholarships. They're getting D2 scholarships. So it does worry me a little bit. It absolutely worries me a little bit. And you're a liar if it says it doesn't worry you a little bit. And all of these guys, all of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, excuse me, I said there's 6 guys. All of these guys received offers recently. These are not guys that Rhule got here and offered. These are dudes who came on camp visits here and played on a camp here, and then they received offers because of how they performed. And although I trust the staff's eye, and although I trust what they saw, it does worry me that they're handing out committable scholarships just because of what they see in a camp. And I'm not saying the staff doesn't look into their film, but I looked into Calambarda, for example. Okay, let's see. He had 62 tackles and 2 picks, 400 yards in low division high school football in Kansas. That's nothing. That's nothing. And I get it. He's 6'2", he's 180. But the stats aren't there. The offers aren't there. The huddle that I watched wasn't really there. He's playing against bad players. Let's take Benjamin Browmer, for example. This was a guy who was committed to us last year. He ended up decommitting and going to Iowa State. But he was a 3-star, almost 4-star tight end. And he played Class C football. Might have been Class D. And he ended as the receiving leader in the entire state with 1,500 yards. That's how it's supposed to be. And it makes me worry when I see guys like Calambarda who are playing low division Kansas high school football and can barely crack 500 going into their senior year. That's not good, right? That's worrisome. And it worries me that we're handing out committable offers just like that because of how they performed at camp. That worries me. But, so that's me being worried. And everything I just said there was valid. Okay. We've established that they're not good recruits. We're talking just purely looking at their huddle, looking at their stats. They're not great recruits. And if they were great recruits, they'd have better offers. And I know somebody's going to go in my comment section and they're going to say, Wilson, what if they're just, a diamond in the rough? No one saw him, right? There was a guy, Eric Fields, who we found out last year, and he was down in the rough. I agree. Eric Fields was a heck of a guy, heck of a prospect. But he had FBS offers, right? He had FBS offers from Northern Illinois. Oh, excuse me. Oh my goodness. He had FBS offers from Northern Illinois. He had FBS offers from Arkansas State. Right? These guys don't even have FBS offers. They're getting FCS scholarships. They're getting D2 scholarships. And it worries me because a lot of them aren't even starters on their own high school squad, sometimes you're just doing something wrong. So we've established that they're not great recruits by what college football and Power 5 schools should be getting. And that's not debatable, okay? We've established that they could be diamonds in the rough, but what are the odds? And we've established that they all got their offers at a camp. They obviously played well, they tested well, and they got their offers because of that. So those are undeniable facts. But let's talk about what Rhule is looking for in a guy. He obviously has a way of going about it. Okay. He knows what he wants. He likes big, tall, fast guys. I mean, it's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Donovan Jones. I think Donovan Jones, I watch a lot of, ball on Donovan Jones, right? It goes to Omaha North. I don't know as much about Braylon Pruitt. I did my best to watch his huddle before I made this video, but I know a lot about Donovan Jones. Donovan Jones is a very raw player. And honestly, I think he's FCS player. I think he's really an FCS player. Quality type of player. And that's not to me to be mean. I've seen a lot of DBs like him in the state of Nebraska. Okay. But Donovan Jones is a better athlete than a lot of them. And that's why he got this offer. Because he's 6'2", 190, and he can run a 4.4. Okay. Braylon Pruitt, not a great player. Is playing on varsity for his first time ever. Right? But he runs a 4.4 at the linebacker position. And he's 6'4". Evan Taylor, he runs a 4.4 and he's 6'4" at the DB position. Okay, there's a common theme here. That's what he's looking for. And you know what? I'm going to go on a limb and trust Matt Rhule on this one. Yes, I know we've established they're not great recruits. I know we've established that. But I'm going to trust Matt Rhule because you know what? Matt Rhule has established a culture of winning and he's established a culture of development, right? He got his guys who he thinks have all the traits physically. They might not have all the traits when it comes to playing the game of football, but those traits that can't be taught, like speed and height, he's finding guys who have that, and he's going to figure out the rest. I respect that. And you see guys like PJ Fleck do that. When PJ Fleck got to Minnesota, he wasn't recruiting 4 stars. He was getting a lot of guys from where he was in Western Michigan. He was getting a lot of guys who probably should have been going to the MAC. And he got a bunch of bad recruits and he turned them into NFL players. That's what I trust Matt Rhule is going to do here. However, there is a catch. This is a good. I trust Matt Rhule for this time. Okay. However, if it's still year 3 and year 4 and we're still getting these type of prospects on a large scale, that's where we have a problem. And I don't think Matt Rhule is going to do that, but there is a problem if we continue to do this because we're trying to level up. We're trying to get better. These guys can set a good foundation, but these guys are never going to be high quality starters. They're going to be good enough players to probably win us a lot of ball games and get us to 8-9 wins. But we need to keep ramping it up because at the end of the day, Natty is always the goal, and being competitive in the West is always the goal. So we always have to ramp it up. So, but that brings us back to the conversation, and you hear it every offseason. And does stars matter? It's the question. Do stars matter? And the simple answer is yes. Absolutely, they matter. But only if you want to win a national championship and only if you want to win a Big Ten title, right? We're in a position where stars do not matter for us and with our current needs. We have got 4-star, 3-star guys the last couple years. We haven't won anything. We've won 3-4 games, okay? We are looking to win 6 games. We are looking to win 8 games. And if you look at Iowa, and they have bad recruiting classes. You look at Minnesota, and they have bad recruiting classes. You look at Illinois, and they haven't had great recruiting classes. You look at Northwestern, who won the West a couple times. They have not had great recruiting classes, okay? You can have bad recruits and have a great developmental head coach and win 7, 8, 9 games in college football. So from that aspect, stars don't matter because you can develop those guys into good players and you can win games. However, once you start talking about winning conference titles and winning national titles, yes, stars do become to matter, right? Well, let me just give you an example. The national championship game, right? TCU got about as far as any team can do, right? They got as far as about any team could possibly get with not having 5 stars everywhere. And they played Georgia in the Natty game, and they got killed. It is just not feasible in 2023 for a team with 0 stars and 3 stars to win Natties. It's just not. Okay, so stars matter to win national titles. Stars matter to win conference titles. Stars do not matter when it comes to winning 6, 7, 8 games. So I'm going to go on a limb and trust Matt Rhule on this one. I like what he's doing. We've established that he's going after guys who have those unteachable traits, being tall, being fast. And yeah, am I worried about the fact that they don't have great offers? Absolutely. Am I worried about the fact that a lot of them, their huddle is not great? Their highlight tape is not great. Yes, I am worried. Am I worried about the fact that they are very unpolished players? Absolutely I am. But you got to trust Rhule. You got to trust Evan Cooper. You got to trust Donovan Raiola. I know a lot of you guys don't want to trust Donovan Raiola. But you got to trust Donovan Raiola and hope that they can create these guys into good ball players. Another thing, but I want to address something that I hate, okay? And I hate when people say this, okay? Is when you get a bad recruit, or not a bad recruit, but you get a guy who's not, a 4-star. And then they say, and then somebody's mocking it or saying, oh, this is a bad get. And then somebody responds to them and says, well, you need to have backups on the team. Okay, nobody who's ever recruited is recruited specifically to be a backup, okay? That's not how college football works. College football works in a tier process, okay? Seniors should always start, right? The only guys who should be backups are younger guys. That's how it works, okay? You don't offer Evan Taylor, for example, and say, I want Evan Taylor to just be a solid backup for us his entire career. No! Okay, you want Evan Taylor to be a solid backup for you his sophomore year, and then you want him to start his junior and senior years. That's how college football works. I don't understand people who just say, "Oh, you need backups." That's not. No, you don't offer anybody ever to be a backup. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Okay. I mean, even in the transfer portal, you don't, you offer guys like Devin Drew is a very rare example of that, and I think we wanted Devin Drew to be a starter. We got him from Texas Tech last year as a grad senior, but very rarely do you, and that's a transfer portal, that's different. But very rarely do you freaking offer high school guys and be like, oh yeah, we need backups. No, if you have a senior who's not starting on your team, that's a problem. He probably shouldn't be on the roster. I just hate that. I hate when people say. I just want to address that. So yeah. So here's the message. Okay. Is this concerning right now? A little bit. It is. I can't lie to you. It is a little concerning. I would love to be getting 4 stars and 5 stars. And it worries me that we had 4 stars and 5 stars on campus, and then we gave up on those guys, and then we just offered a bunch of random guys at a camp. And there you go. That does worry me. That does worry me. Yeah, that worries me. But at the end of the day, I'm going to trust Rhule on this one. I'm going to trust that he knows how to develop guys because I've seen it happen before. Now, granted, if Matt Rhule doesn't develop these guys, and in a world where Matt Rhule fails as a head coach, we are in a very bad spot. Okay? We're in a very bad spot. So we are banking on Matt Rhule developing these guys. If Matt Rhule is anything close to Scott Frost, I'm not saying he's going to be, but if he's anything close to Scott Frost, or even a bad or not or average developer, we're in a bad spot, and we're probably not going to make a bowl game with these dudes. We're banking on him being a great developer because the great developers are the guys who turn no stars into starters and NFL players. PJ Fleck, for example. Kirk Ferentz, for example. Pat Fitzgerald, for example, right? Those guys are great developers. Those guys are not average developers. Average developers aren't going to take these guys into be starters. So we're banking on that. And that does worry me a little bit, but I'm going to trust him, okay? Because I have no reason not to. I had a reason last year to not trust Scott Frost. I don't have a reason right now to not trust Matt Rhule. He's done nothing to get rid of my trust. So we'll give him that trust. We'll give him that lenience as a first-year head coach. We'll see how it goes. We'll revisit this in a year. But yeah, and there's always good things to be looking forward to. I mean, we're not only getting, no stars. We just got Isaiah McMorris. We just got Dae'Vonn Hall. We just got Mario Buford. And we're not done. So, yeah, man. I'm still excited. I'm still ready. Let's go, baby. Matt Rhule is establishing a culture. That's number one. He's getting due to our athletic freaks. That's number two. And let's get going. Let's do it, baby. So there we go. That's my video. I haven't made a recruiting video in a while. We've been kind of breaking down the roster. Those will come back to you soon. I'm going to be talking about the O-line next. But I want to get this video out when Isaiah McMorris and Dae'Vonn Hall commit. So there you go. There you go. Thank you guys all for watching the video. It's been a pleasure bringing it to you. Hope you enjoy the breakdown. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comments. At least be nice, though. Be nice. I haven't received some great comments recently, but be nice. And if you disagree with me, tell me why, and I'll get back to you on that. But if you do like the content, or if you don't like the content, it doesn't matter. Please hit the like button. That would really help me out. And even consider subscribing. That'd be great. We're trying to hit 300 subscribers. So thank you guys all. As always, let's go Matt Rhule. Let's go Nebraska. Go Big Red. See you guys.